Yeah, good morning. So today we are doing a very interesting subject. Now this subject is the name of God. Who is He? Where does He stay? What happens? It's a very interesting subject because we have been given this information by Kapila Muni, who is the Lord Himself. So let us try to understand this from a different perspective. What I will do just now is I will give you the content, what is there in the scripture, till I finish my life. After the life, then I will give you all, like I said in the morning to few over here, bonus content. All right, so let us see how this works. Okay, so we are going to understand about the Lord. And we had completed till verse 11 yesterday from chapter 28 from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Part 2. So today we will begin from verse 12 onwards. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Part 2, Chapter 28, verse 12. When the mind is perfectly purified by the practice of yoga, one should concentrate on the tip of the nose with half-closed eyes and see the form of the Divine Lord Sri Krishna. Now, yesterday what we did was an idea about overcoming the mind, sitting in a posture in a particular place, a very secluded place, doing breathing, which is pranayama as we call it. It means balancing the breath and then sitting in a peaceful condition. Today we are going to understand visualization. Now, what is the meaning of the word visualization? The object need not be in front of you, but you are going to bring it into your mind. So for that you require certain parameters, certain ground rules, a kind of a framework, and when we have the framework, we will be able to bring that picture in the mind. I hope you got that. So we are going to study that. So here, when we come to a state of equilibrium, which is called the mind is perfectly purified. The state of equilibrium means we are neither moving right nor left. There are no thoughts as such in the mind. Absolutely no thoughts. We are at complete standstill. There is tranquility in our world. Everything is moving very smoothly. The breath is under control. No thoughts going on anywhere. Then the mind is purified. There are no thoughts from the past or the future. See, when we think about the future, we have anxiety. When we think about the past, we are in fear and anger and various other shadripus, that is called. Those are the negative characteristics. So that is not there. So we are here just now at this given moment in time, and we are going to understand this. So when we practice this yoga, when we say yoga, it is Ashtanga Yoga. The 8 limbs of yoga, as they call it. Yama, Niyama, and so on. Some do's, some don'ts, some postures, some breathing techniques, so on and so forth. Got it? It is not some body exercise. Body exercise means what? You are using your body for doing something. No, in this case, we have to be at standstill. Literally sitting in a posture, Padmasana, spine erect. That's it. Then our eyes should be centered. See, if I see far, my eyes are like this, right? The pupils are this way and we can see this way. But when I am looking at the tip of my nose, you will find that both the eyes are going this way, right? Both my pupils and my iris will move like this. So we have to do that and then see the form of God. Now, who is this God? So we need to get some kind of a description. See, so far, the Advaitist and every other person on earth, they don't have any idea of God. See, Advaitists say that there is a Brahma and blah blah, all that. They don't believe in any form God, God with a form. I can't say that, I want to live in a formless world. Can you? You need something to hold on to, isn't it? If I just say, here is a rose, you will say, Guruji, what are you giving? I can't see anything. No, but you got to see it. So making it felt, I need to experience it by my senses and the mind. Feeling it, touching it, visualizing it, hearing it, smelling it. All my senses should actually understand it. So this is the reason why we have to know who this God is and how does he look like. So the descriptive process is given over here. Where is he described? Remember, you are looking over here at the tip of the nose, you are not seeing anywhere else. Is that correct? If I am seeing at the tip of my nose, can I see up over there? I can't. So what happens when you are seeing on the tip of your nose? This is a very important step which happens. When I see on the tip of my nose, I can see the tip when I start, and in a few moments it starts blurring out. So one is focus, pinpointed focus, and when I do pinpointed focus, it zooms out. Sudden zooming out. Now, when that happens, I have actually entered that domain. Then what happens is, you may not even realize that your eyes might close. You will not even realize, because once you zoom out of it, zooming out doesn't mean that you have lost somewhere. Okay, please understand. You are still looking over here, but the vision which is over here goes inwards. It goes to a location which we call as the screen of our mind. There is a screen. It is called Chid Akash. It's the screen of my mind. So if I see an object in front of me, any object I see in front of me, let us say I am seeing a flower. I see the flower and suddenly I close my eyes. Do I see the flower inside of me also or no? It is called seeing in the Chid Akash, in the screen inside my being. Got it? So it is a visualization technique. It happens within me. So here we are given the description for us to visualize what happens after we have zoomed out of here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, has a cheerful, lotus-like countenance with ruddy eyes like the interiors of a lotus, and a swadhi body like a petal of a blue lotus. He bears a conch, discus and mace in his 3 hands. So now we are starting from the outer description of the Lord. How does he look like? Well built. Very good. Second, there is a description of a blue lotus over here, not the red one or the pink one, okay? Because his body is bluish grey. Now, why is his body bluish grey? The answer is very simple. If I have to see white and if I have to see black, if I mix these colors, there is a grayish tone in between. You know, the gray tone comes in the middle. The gray tone is neither here nor there. It looks bluish, The sky, if I see in the daytime, does it look bluish or no? So the blue hue goes down very softly to gray, right? So he is seen in this tone, the bluish gray tone. He has got cheerful lotus-like countenance, face. Same thing. With ruddy eyes and interior of a lotus. If you see a lotus, how does the lotus look like? If you see, have you seen blue color? Water lilies, as we call them, lotus. The blue lotus is having dark shade on the periphery. As you come inwards, you will find that it becomes whitish yellow. You know, a certain tone change is there. Imagine something like that. So here it is nothing but visualization technique. So he's got a Swati body, like the petals of a blue lotus. So his body is like the blue lotus, all right? He bears a conch, a discus and a mace. That is Shankha, Chakra, Gada. Remember one thing. I am just going to give you an understanding now. Like I told you, I'll explain to you later. So kindly hold on. These three things are there. Shankha, Chakra and Gada. Last is called Padma. Okay. The position of these in his hands, he's got 4 hands, differs. If it differs, if it changes, then that entity is different, not the same. Okay? It's like if I have twin brother, if I am right-handed, he could be left-handed. Got the point? So it is like that. The differentiation comes about. Splitting into 4 forms. 4 hands. 4 forms are there. We will discuss them later on. His loins were covered by a shining cloth, yellowish like the filament of a lotus. On his breast, he bears the mark of Srivatsa, a curl of white hair. The brilliant Kaustubh gem is suspended from his neck. So he wears a yellow color loincloth. That means he wears a garment which is yellowish in color at the bottom, from his waist downwards. On his breast is the Srivatsa mark. Srivatsa is a tuft of white hair. What is it? A tuft of white hair in between black hair, grayish black hair. So there is a tuft of white hair. There is a gem which is called Kaustubh. Alright, it is suspended from his neck. He also wears around his neck a garland of attractive sylvan flowers, and swarm of bees, intoxicated by his delicious fragrance, hums around the garland. He is further superbly adorned with a pearl necklace, a crown, and a pair of armlets, bracelets, and anklets. So we are further describing the Lord. He is round his neck. There is flowers are kept over there, and there is a necklace which is made of pearls. All right, a crown and a pair of armlets, bazuband as we call them, bracelets and anklets. His loin and hips encircled by a girdle. He stands on the lotus of his devotee's heart. He is most charming to look at, and his serene aspect gladdens the eye and soul of the devotees who behold him. Now here, what has happened is there are certain words which have very deeper meanings. His loin and hips encircled by a girdle. Kamarband, we call it. Kamarband. You know kamarband? If you have seen women wear that during weddings and all that. So, he stands on the lotus of devotee's heart. This is a very, very important word. Where is he? On the devotee's heart. So if in the previous verses, was it very clearly mentioned that kindly do not go and do all kinds of prayers and this and that to anybody there? Some temple, some god, some kind of worship, some kind of, puja part that we keep on doing. Was it very clearly mentioned? Isn't the words very clear over here that this particular entity is standing on the lotus of the heart? Now this is also some words which we will do once the satsang is over. He is most charming to look at. He looks very cute, very nice, very charming. And his serene aspect gladdens the eye. His serene aspect is very serene, peaceful, calm. Gladdens the eyes and the souls of the devotees who behold him. You have to behold him. Like I said, you have to visualize him within you. The Lord is eternally very beautiful and he is worshipable by all the inhabitants of every planet. He is ever youthful and always eager to bestow his blessings upon his devotees. So he is worshipped by literally all the gods. All the gods, all the planets. Now when they say planets and gods and this and that, we have done this before. There is no planet outside. Those are physical entities, bodies are there. Like Saturn, we call it Shani. The Saturn is not going to influence you individually, but it is the reference point. It's like the framework. If there is a framework like this, see, when I am seeing you, do you know that there is a grid in front of me in the camera? You know what a grid means, no? There are grid lines. And when there are grid lines, I have to ensure that my glasses are somewhere on the middle portion of the center grid. Right? Then I can maintain this level. So the camera can see me properly. If I move over here, am I called in the 1/3? I'm sure if you understand photography, you will know that if I move on this side is 2/3, this side is 1/3. So now think like this. If I, as a human being, imagine this star system in the middle of the night, how did this so-called astrology and various other subjects come into the picture? In the dark of the night, I am standing on a hillock. Can I see the sky up there? Naturally. Can I draw a grid like this? I can do that as well. Can I say in this grid there is this particular heavenly body? 100%. Can I say in this particular grid there is another bodies? Yes. I take the hour of the night and I say today on this particular day and at this particular night, the grid shows X constellation, Y, Z, or whatever constellations, this particular, say Saturn, Jupiter, or Venus, or whatever, is in a certain place. I can describe this and I can correlate it to the time factor. How do people find this kind of anomalies in their life? This is how they do, isn't it? So we start believing in this structure and the belief system grows. this person was born on this day when the position of the stars was this. And then we study the person has gone through a certain stage in his life, he got married. Can I say because when he got married, the star system was like this? So if I do a study, like today when I have ChatGPT and various other, I am doing LLMs, large language models. Now if I do this kind of an LLM in the past, have I not come across similarities during this time? How much of a commonsensical knowledge is this? And during that particular moment in time, you will find that there are many people who are going through this. But this is called generalization. You understand what generalization means? Now here is the main problem. LLMs cannot give you the absolute truth. Can it give? Why? Because it is relying on a data. Alright? Reliance on the data based on a certain, universe, the factor where, okay, X number of people are having this Y number of characteristics. I want to ask you a question. Are these kind of generalized data common? Do you mean to say, can I do predictions based on one person who is standing next to me and another person who is standing in my vicinity will have the same future if he is born on the same day, time and everything? Common sense will tell you it doesn't work like that. Astrology and all these other subjects are nothing but common denominators. Denominators has nothing to do with individual destinies. Your destiny and that other person's destiny cannot be matched simply because he is not the body. When are we going to understand that? He is the divine soul. And nobody can find out the future of a divine soul. Can you? You are a Jivatma, you are not a body. Common sense will tell you this. This is what we are learning today. So don't rely on all these methodologies. What you can do in ChatGPT, you can do it independently and that will be only exclusive to you. And that is the reason why two people's destiny do not match. Even if they are standing next to each other or they may be conjugal twins also, doesn't work. I hope a little common sense works in you. When Sri Ram was born, were there 100 other children born on this planet Earth or no? Of course. Did all of them become Sri Ram? No way. I hope you get the point. So there is a problem. And today, before we started the satsang, we were discussing about my story, isn't it? Can you tell me my date of birth? It is near impossible. You cannot even understand what a date of birth is. So how can you tell me astrologically or palmistry or any other sciences will match me? What I want to do or what I will not do. So there is a problem. So please understand this. The Lord is in the core of your heart, of your being. It's a representation. In reality, these gods who are there around you, there are no gods outside. If there is God outside, and if you say there is heaven upwards and there is hell downwards, sorry boss, who told you heaven upwards and hell downwards? Have you ever seen the Milky Way galaxy? How does it go? What is upwards? Common sense will tell you there is nothing upwards, there is only the sky, or what we call as the ether. What is downwards? Nothing. We don't know. It is only the sky. We are somewhere suspended in space. So these kind of wrong notions that a person has, we have to drop them. But those words have meaning, isn't it? So what is upwards? 7 heavens upwards, 7 hells downwards. There are 7 hells down, 7 heavens upwards, and in between there are 7 stages of the earth. We have done this previously. Somewhere in the past we have done all this in our satsangs. It is nothing outside, it is inside of you. Where is it? Inside of you, nothing outside. Heavens are inside of you, hells are inside of you, earth is inside of you. What earth are we talking about? What heaven are we talking about? So we will continue. So, the Lord is eternally beautiful and He is worshipable by all inhabitants of every planet. He is ever youthful and always eager to bestow His blessings upon His devotees. Verse 18, the glory of the Lord is always worth singing, for His glories enhance the glories of the devotees. One should therefore meditate upon the Supreme Divine, Sri Krishna, and upon His devotees. One should meditate on the eternal form of the Lord until the mind becomes fixed. So what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to praise the God? By singing His praises. You can sing, isn't it? You can say Sri Ram or Sri Krishna's bhajans or kirtans or whatever you want to. You can definitely say or no. If you can't say that, at least you say, like we say Om Namah Shivaya, we can say Hare Ram, whatever you want to. Or Jai Shri Krishna, you can say these words. Can you say these words? We are taking the name of the God. That's it. Just take His name. And when you take His name, He is the one, and the closest to Him are called devotees. Who are they called? Devotees. Now the ones who are closest to Him are called the devotees. In this we had also done the circles, isn't it? The Goloka is divided into multiple circles. I told you about it. There is an inner circle, there is an outer circle. We have discussed about this. So understand this special thing, that the inner circle is the one we call so-called gopis, but we say they are devotees. So we call them devotees only. Are they male or female? Sir, there are no sexes over there. Okay? No. There is no males and there are no females over there. A soul doesn't have a body. A soul doesn't have a body. So he is neither male nor female. So non-neutral gender also over there. No genders. Illa. So you have to concentrate on Him in that manner and meditate on the eternal form of the Lord until the mind becomes fixed. Your mind has to get zeroed onto this. Fix it. Thus, always merged in devotional service, the yogi visualizes the Lord standing, moving, lying down, or sitting within him, for the pastimes of the Supreme Lord is always beautiful and attractive. Now, we have to visualize Him in the way we feel comfortable. Do you want to see Him standing? You can definitely see Him standing if you want to. You want to see Him lying down also? Yes, Padmanabha Swami. Those who have seen, places like Sri Rangam and Padmanabha Swami in Tiruvananthapuram, you have seen Him lying down, isn't it? And sometimes He is standing, right? So some places He is standing, some places He is sleeping, some places He is sitting. He is sitting on a lotus pose, I'm sure you have seen that somewhere. So whichever position that you feel comfortable, you can visualize Him in that position. In fixing his mind on the eternal form of the Lord, the yogi should not take a collective view of his limbs, but should fix the mind on each individual limb of the Lord. So here, with your two eyes, imagine you are seeing inwards, okay, your vision. Can you say that I can see all the parts at once? Nobody can concentrate on everything at the same time, correct? So you have to focus on one item at a time. So maybe you are seeing his right hand, maybe you are seeing his left hand. So slowly, just visualize him in different aspects. All right? How do you visualize him? Maybe you can start from his face, the visage, or you can start from his hands, his legs, or whichever part of the body that you feel comfortable with. It's a visualization. All right? So, The devotee should first concentrate his mind on the Lord's lotus feet, which are adorned with the marks of the thunderbolt, a gourd, a banner, a lotus. The splendor of their beautiful ruby nails resemble the orbit of the moon and dispel the thick gloom of one's heart. So we are describing his feet. So let us say I am visualizing his feet. What do the feet carry? The different marks. Those who have visited me over here, have you seen the 2 feet, kept over there in my, God's place, that is Devghar? Have you seen those marks which are drawn over there? Those are nothing but the visualizations of these different things. So what are they? They are different. Thunderbolt is there, gourd. All kinds of marks are there. There is a lotus over there. There is a gourd over there. There is a chhatri over there. Chhatri means an umbrella. So on and so forth. So you can visualize that and you can see his feet. You can actually see his feet. All right. And then in his feet, what do you see? You can see his nails, which resemble the orbit of the moon because they are like this and dispel the thick gloom of one's heart. The blessed Lord Shiva becomes all the more blessed by bearing on his head the holy waters of the Ganga, which has its source of the waters that wash the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord's feet acts like a thunderbolt hurled to shatter the mountains of sin stored in the minds of the meditating devotee. One should therefore meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time. So the one place where every person needs to meditate, focus on that, get into that place is called the feet of the Lord. You just have to visualize the feet of the Lord. At the feet, many a times I have always told you that there is a river going from there. That river is called the Ganga river. The Ganga river flows from the feet of Lord Krishna. Have you heard this? You know the story. I have also given you the story why Ganga emanates from his feet, right? Ganga tried to hide under his feet, right? So that story is known. And who carries that Ganga on his head? Shivji carries it on his head. So Shiva, the Ganga is flowing from his head. So where is the feet of the Lord? I hope you get it. Common sense will tell you that. I don't have to visualize it for you. You can visualize it yourself. So these feet, they carry the tremendous power of Ganga river also. The Ganga is given the power by him. And when it flows, it removes all the sins, of the meditating devotee. This is a very peculiar thing he is saying. Is he telling you that everybody's sins are washed away if they go and dip in the river Ganga? The answer is no. No. The Ganga is not pure on its own. When the feet of the devotee dips in the Ganga, Ganga becomes pure. We have studied this entire thing when we were doing the story, of how the greatest devotee of Vithala went to the Ganga river when he was sitting in Kukut Swami's ashrama. So this is a beautiful story again. So he was told very clearly, and even Adi Shankaracharya was asked this question, why does a sage like him or any other sage go and dip their feet in these rivers? What was the answer? When the sage goes and dips his feet in the river, or when he visits a temple, a holy place, he sanctifies that place. Are you getting this point? It is the great devotee who sanctifies the place. The Ganga is sanctified when the great sages dip their feet. Ganga is not pure. Now, the Ganga becomes pure when the gurus and the masters and the great devotees, they dip their feet in the Ganga river. Is it understood? So we take the Charan Tirth of the gurus for this reason. Because they purify the Ganga and they purify the holy places. The holy places loses its charm very, very quickly. We have done this before. There are 4 types of, vigrahas that are there. 4 vigraha types. We have done this, where the first vigraha is established by the divinity itself. Well, Sri Ram will come and establish that particular thing. Somebody like that. Sri Krishna will establish, or whoever. We have heard that. Second one is the devotee establishes. Like Samartha Ramdas, he established Ganesha temples, the Hanumanji temples across, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Right? Have you also heard of the Udupi Krishna? The Udupi Krishna was established by a great devotee of the Lord. Right? So understand this. So there are different types. Now these are 2 I have covered. There are 2 more. Alright? So like that. So this purity of that place depends on the devotee. Who is a devotee? A devotee is the spiritual masters, the gurus. Like you can say, Ramakrishna Paramahansa is a devotee. Right? Understood? Similarly, you will find that Kabir is a devotee. Mirabai is a devotee. Those who follow Mirabai are not called devotees. They are devotee of the devotee. Second circle. Got it? So if you follow her, then you are a devotee of the devotee. So you have to meditate on his feet. The yogi should fix his heart in the activities of the Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all demigods and is the mother of the Supreme Person, Brahma. She can always be found massaging the legs and the thighs of the Transcendental Lord, very carefully serving him in this way. Now here is the peculiarity. The person called Lakshmi has entered into the picture. Okay? If Lakshmi has entered into the picture, we are talking about manifest domains. What are we talking about? Manifest domains. She is the mother of Brahma is also mentioned. Does it also tell you it is a manifest domains? So we are talking of manifested Lord. So this Lord which we are visualizing inside of us is a manifested Lord. What is the meaning of the word manifest? Manifest means appearing, coming, coming about, right? So you will find that manifestation means taking a form, taking a form. The Lord is taking a form, manifesting. This is a very peculiar sentence. So is he the original Lord? No. So in this break, after this break, I will tell you where to see this. Alright? So this particular person whom we are visualizing is a Mahavishnu avatar. Who is he? A Mahavishnu avatar. We also sometimes called him Narayana. Sometimes we call him Padmanabha Swami. All names are okay. You can call him whatever you feel like. Does not matter. Lakshmi ji is sitting next to him. Okay, what is she doing? She is rubbing the feet of the Lord. And there is Brahmaji to be seen. So this is a manifested form that has appeared. Next, the yogi should fix his mind in meditation on the Personality of Godhead's thighs, the storehouse of all energy. The Lord's thighs are whitish blue like the luster of a linseed flower and appears most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuda. Also, the yogi should contemplate his rounded hips, which are encircled by the girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth and extends downwards to his ankles. Next verse, the yogi should then meditate on his moon-like navel in the center of the abdomen. From his navel, which is the foundation of the entire universe, springs the lotus stem containing all the different planetary systems. The lotus is the residence of Brahma, the first creator being. In the same way, the yogi should concentrate his mind on the lotus Lord's nipples, which resembles a pair of most exquisite emeralds and which appears whitish because of the rays of the milk-white pearl necklace adorning his chest. The yogi should then meditate on the chest of the Supreme Lord, the goddess, the abode of goddess Mahalakshmi. The Lord's chest is the source of all transcendental pleasures of the mind and full satisfaction for the eyes. The yogi should then imprint on his mind the neck of the Sri Krishna, who is adorned by the entire universe. The neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of the Kaustubh gem which hangs on his chest. This is a descriptive process. We are doing a description of how the Lord is. First, he was described with his thighs and all. The thighs are visible when the Lord is sitting on his own vehicle. What is his vehicle? Garuda. So when he is flying on the Garuda, his thighs are visible, and then he is shown as lying, and when he is lying on the Adishesha, Mahalakshmi is next to him. It's all a descriptive process. You have to just visualize it. As a person who is learning spirituality, we need to know how the Lord looks like. Okay? Did you see there are two, one name which came about? Mahalakshmi is the mother of, they said, Brahma. Brahma's wife is Saraswati, correct? Huh? If I were to open the Bible, do I see the name of Brahma and Saraswati over there? You will say, really? How is that possible? Of course, he is called the father figure of the entire race. Brahma. His name is Abraham. A-B-R-A-H-A-M. Remove the A from it. What remains? Brahma remains. What is his wife's name? Brahma's wife is Saraswati. Okay? Like all other people, I can shorten the name and call her Sarah. S-A-R-A-H. So Abraham and his wife Sarah are the father and the mother of the entire generation, sir. Doesn't it sound very funny to you? Just a tidbit. To give something to your mind to think on. Actually, in all the religions in the world, whether you take it this or that, the name is slightly twisted here and there. Like the god Ra. The god Ra who is there, he is called the sun god. What is he called? Sun god. In India, we also have a Ra. He is also called sun god. He comes from the dynasty of the sun. We pray to him, isn't it? Shri Ram, Ra. So many a times the words are somewhere they are cut, somewhere something has happened. So Ra is the god we praise in Egyptians. The Egyptians do that. So don't bother so much about all these things. Nobody says that your religion is superior to my religion. We are just trying to say how this whole system works. More or less it's the same. Here and there it's a little bit same. So, The yogi should further meditate upon the Lord's four arms, which are the source of all the powers of the demigods who control the various functions of material nature. Then the yogi should concentrate on the polished ornaments which are burnished by Mount Mandara as it revolved. He should also duly contemplate on the Lord's discus, the Sudarshan Chakra, which contains 1000 spokes and a dazzling luster, as well as conch, which looks like a swan in his lotus palm. Okay, I think we can stop over here and we can do the rest of it tomorrow because it becomes late otherwise. So understand, here is the Lord. He is visualized as either standing or sleeping or whichever way. The demigods are under his control. Demigods are what? The different gods that are there. We did one god which was called by a particular name. Okay, what was that god called? Fire. And it was also mentioned fire is in your stomach. We have done all that, isn't it? So think on those lines. We can visualize like that. Okay. And the yogi should concentrate on his ornaments that are there. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma and all that. We can do that. So this is visualization techniques. So today we have learnt half of the visualization techniques. Tomorrow we will learn the balance few. I think 44 is the last verse. So till that time, we are only going to learn about the Lord. Okay. So I think we will stop over here because of time constraint. And I will do this tomorrow.
Recording stopped.